3 hours of the regular show on terrestrial radio, and you wanted a little bit more, so that's why you found the Gun Talk After Show podcast, where we saved all the best things that we can't say on regular radio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim for the Gun Talk After Show.
All right, it's the after show where usually there's just the three of us with Jim and Michelle, which is fine. I'm not saying just guys, because you're wonderful.
Nice back pedal.
Right.
I'm trying. But now we are joined by two of our other good friends. We have Mark Hanish and Ashley Hlebinsky from... You guys are like citizens of the world now.
From the world.
You don't even know where you... Most of the time I talk to you on the phone, where are you? And you go, I don't know, let me look around. I don't know where I am now.
What time zone am I in?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's weird because we got different last names, but we're married and we live in separate states, so...
How's that? That sounds actually perfect.
It's lovely.
So I was introducing you guys before we started after show, but Mark, you've been around these guys enough, and Michelle's son we were talking about, he's AMU. Those folks can shoot.
Oh my God, can the AMU shoot? I mean, talk about a collection of some of the nation's finest. That they're there to hone their skills and to take what they learn, not only shooting wise in the skills, but in the guns and ammunition, and trickle that down to make a better military.
And you've had to shoot against some of those folks.
Many times.
Tough competition.
It is, but it always feels good when you can get one over on the AMU.
That's
Fortunately,
right.
I've been able to do that a couple times.
That's right. You say, all right, U.S. government, do your best.
Well, and first and foremost, they're just quality people.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
They must have overcome their upbringing. That's all I can say, Michelle.
Jim accuses the same thing of happening. Yes, they overcame the upbringing. To be able to, and you say the crowd is spectacular, and for any one of those people at any point in time to be able to stand out from one another is truly amazing. I mean, they're a class act.
Don't you get better when you have better competition?
100%.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. If you're the big fish in a small pond,
you can't.
You don't know how you are, and you don't
push yourself.
Yeah, the competition drives you. I mean, that's why live in Phoenix. It's the mecca of sports shooting in the world, and especially for the action sports. And you can go out on any given Tuesday night and compete against.
So who's out there?
What's that? Rob Latham, it's his home club.
Right.
I mean, it's like if you were a golfer
and
you could go golf with Phil Mickelson or Tiger Woods every, Tuesday.
And he's out there.
Yeah. And it's just the laundry list. You can have 20 Grand Masters on any night. You can shoot against the top competition in the world every week. It makes you better. And
that's what the AMU is. You're basically, your team is who you're shooting against, and they're the best.
Yep, and you get to compete, practice, train with them every day.
And don't you find that changes the whole face of competition, though? It forces everybody else to kind of maneuver up that ladder as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're always looking for an edge, and always looking to get better, and you learn from each other at the top.
Mm-hmm. I think it changes the technology that is released to the civilian side of life for sure.
There's something else that happens at that level that's very interesting to me. And it's the Doug Koenigs and the Jerrys and the Robs and the Mark Hanish and Daniel Horner and all these guys.
The courtesy plug.
You guys always want to beat each other up, but there are times when you're actually helping each other.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I want every one of the people that I'm competing against to do their absolute best because I want to beat them at their best. Because if not, it's cheap.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean as much.
Correct. I mean, there's matches like the Iron Man was one of the greatest matches ever made and created.
Love that match.
The MGM
that match
targets.
kept happening over my birthday, though, and Parma, Idaho is not where I want to spend my birthday.
Hey, the outback there gets pretty happening.
Oh, no, Texas Roadhouse. That was one year, yeah.
The fine Parma dust.
Oh, my God.
They have a unique type of dust there that gets into everything.
It's a moon dust. But to the point of, in that match, you can help the shooter. The the squad mates can help the shooter by giving them guns, ammunition, and so forth. So you are competing directly against a person, and they have a problem, and you have the ability to watch them burn or to give them your gun to give them a better chance to beat you.
I watched Travis shooting Iron Man, and as he's shooting shotgun stage, he can see the charging lever is coming out of his shotgun. And he's shooting, and he's screaming over his shoulder, "I need a shotgun!" And he's running and shooting, and I think it's Scott.
McGregor?
Yeah, went and grabbed a shotgun and ran like 100 yards with the shotgun as fast as he could and jammed it into his hand so he could keep competing.
Oh, and we do it all the time, and you do it again. And I lost a back-to-back Ironman. I was fortunate enough to win the limited or the TAC optics, but the heavy metal one I came in second. I had a pistol malfunction. Two magazines. I only had two magazines because that's all I needed was one, so I took two.
Sure.
And both of the magazine springs failed, and it was frustrating. That cost me the match, but the more frustrating part, not just for me but for my squad mates, is I was the last shooter, so everyone else's gear was all put away, so nobody had a gun to give me.
Oh no!
And it was
So have things changed?
That's right. Then you say, okay,
putting their gear away now.
Well, I mean, it wasn't on anyone on purpose.
No,
I mean,
right.
Just what it was.
Happened to
they
be.
were done. Yeah.
Right
yeah,
there.
but, Mark is well known for just like not having what he needs nowadays.
Wait, we're not getting into the whole marriage thing here.
I thought about the shooting sports.
This is why this is the after show.
Yeah. We were going to bring whiskey, but I couldn't get home. I couldn't sneak home after my chores in time to get some.
Jim usually provides the whiskey for all of us.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
people keep, all of our contractors for the renovation keep buying me bottles of whiskey, and I'm not sure what that says about me as a person.
Maybe after all this, that's what you need to have.
Yeah. And it's usually as an apology, I appreciate it.
It's an apology or a sympathy bottle.
Right.
We're sorry you're having to put up with all of us here.
Go get some sleep.
So overall, all of us walk in and we go, wow, this is great. How you feel about the whole thing?
I'm really happy. I think I'm still kind of in shock, to be perfectly honest. I've cried a couple of times in the galleries just seeing people walk around, but I'm really, really happy. I will say, as a perfectionist, I still walk around and go, oh, that could have been like a little bit different or a little bit better, and I'm always going to be super critical of it. But I had a mini anxiety attack leaving the museum last night. After it was all done, we had probably about 1,000 people here during the day for the last 3 hours of the day when we were open, and I was like, oh my God. We wrote gun history. And it sounds so silly, but there isn't really a comprehensive look at gun history that's out there because of the dearth of scholarship in it. And, the Cody Firearms Museum, because we get such a diverse audience, this is going to be the institution that people look to find that information. And I'm like, God, I hope it's right.
That's a lot of pressure.
Right? I felt like that would have been my heart attack that I've been working on throughout this project right there.
So, all right, Michelle.
Yes.
You've got Mark here. You got a chance to tell him about the next caliber that he needs to do for his company to provide the Streak ammo for. I wonder what that would be.
If I were to think of, I don't know. There's this little revolver round I like. It's a 327.
Never heard of that.
She's the
327 Federal?
She's a monstrous fan of the 327. Revolvers, lever guns, doesn't matter. She'll shoot them all.
Right.
If you and a million friends want to buy a box.
All
right, Pales out there, I need you to help.
Hey, Michelle, me and you, 500,000 boxes each.
That's when the guy says, well, I would buy some, and all of my friends. Okay, well, that's 6 people.
Right.
So that's a start.
That's one of the things. Having gone to the SHOT Show for 20 plus years in a row and been in factory booths. Now, SHOT Show is less consumer oriented than it used to be for a while.
The NRA is where you really get it, though.
Yes, the NRA a lot. You guys should, back at the gun manufacturing, you guys should really make one of these. You know, me and all my friends would buy them.
Exactly.
And that was one of those things. If you can round up another 100,000 friends, then we will.
We're in.
We'll put the couple $1 million together to build, prototype, test, design, develop, and industrialize that, and bring it to market, and then we'll have it for you.
Well,
now, 327 Federals be a little bit easier. So
I was going to say I can send you some brass. I mean.
Michelle is a big proponent of the Ruger LCR in 327 6-shot as a really good defensive gun, especially for women, because you can shoot the little 32 H&R, or even, what is it, 32 Smith & Wesson?
Yep,
Michelle?
Smith & Wesson long, all of those, yes.
Yeah, which is like just puff, little nothing guns.
Right.
And then the Full House 327 is the absolute equivalent of a 357 Magnum revolver.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
I remember when I had the back at the gun club when that 327 Federal round came out, and it was, I haven't talked about it in a decade, but it was, from what I remember then, it was a neat round. Just
Cool
all that capability for target ammo, practice ammo,
Right.
and a full house load.
Yeah, when you shoot the Full House load, it's kind of like, whoa, hello. It's a 357.
Yeah.
Michelle, I don't know if you know, Michelle has a gun store in Range.
Okay.
Also. And Mark was the instigator, probably, of the Scottsdale Gun Club, right?
Yep, that was my baby.
That's your baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably, I'd say almost certainly the first that we call the Country Club. It was
Yes.
a prototype for the Gun Club.
It is absolutely the very first high-end indoor shooting range facility in the country, which gave birth to all of them across
That's pretty cool.
the country. Mm-hmm. I get to look back in history and point at that and go, hey, that was mine.
And you know what then happens? Someone goes, nope, there was this one random one like 30 years prior.
Oh, yeah,
that
somebody
nobody knew
always says
about.
something
That
goofy
welcome
like
to my
that.
world, right?
So just, oh yeah, let me rain on your parade.
Hey, I've got it
Story of my
in
life.
print from, I think, what was it, USA Today, one of the big national magazines, or not national, the newspapers. I'll have to find it again. Absolutely credited the Scottsdale Gun Club as being the first. So you don't have to take my word for it.
Because the newspapers always get it so right.
Yes.
Just to say, get it black and white, get it there.
Oh, I think I will take a deep breath, and we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back.
No,
Be right back.
Yeah, different states, right? Yeah.
Whether you are a first-timer or seasoned shooter, Double Star has the guns, edged weapons, and parts you desire. Our products are made in America and held to the highest quality standards. No exceptions. Double Star and Ace Limited manufactures products people bet their lives on without hesitation. That awesome responsibility motivates the Double Star family, and it will proudly protect yours. When you're ready for the best, join our family at star15.com. That's star15.com.
Want to win a gun? Hey, this is Ryan Gresham with Gun Talk. Visit guntalk.com/win to enter our latest giveaway. This month, enter to win one of 2 new guns from Sig Sauer, the P320 X5 Legion with 3 17-round magazines, or the P365 XL X Series with 2 12-round mags, both in 9mm. Enter now through August 2nd at guntalk.com/win. That's guntalk.com/win.
All right, we're back where we always trust everything's in the newspaper. So there we go. We're at the Cody Fires.
Normally just the date.
Just the date?
That's the thing you can trust on the newspaper is the date.
And now that we can get that on our phone, do we actually need that? Actually, I can't find a reason to need a newspaper anymore.
Did you have a dog?
Or a parakeet, or a fish that need to be wrapped.
Did you just need to go for a walk in the morning?
We actually had people, after we did the broadcast show, before we did the after show, people that came by and said they heard us talking on the actual broadcast as they were driving here.
Yeah.
Actually, you were talking to them.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of funny. I mean, I hear that all the time. People know me from coming on the show, 10 times maybe over the years.
A lot.
And so they were traveling around, coming from Lovell, and they heard us on the show and didn't realize we were here, but they come in to come see the Cody Farms Museum. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. And
we should just have you here all the time, Tom. It's perfect.
Well, I wouldn't have a problem with that, actually, because I do love this area. It's just
beautiful.
We did a little drive, actually went up toward, is it Red Bluff?
Red Lodge.
Red Lodge, yeah. That's a beautiful drive up there.
Oh, it's gorgeous. The best, though, is if you go up to Red Lodge, and before, you get to the end of the road, literally, and you turn right to go to Red Lodge, left to go towards Yellowstone, the Beartooth Highway.
Yeah.
If you go left and you go up through the northeast entrance, but you have to go all the way to Red Lodge, and then you go left, it's really freaking cool. You're winding. You can't drive more than like 10 miles an hour because you're winding back and forth up the mountains, and it's gorgeous. It's one of the most beautiful drives you'll ever have.
This is not an area when you're doing the tourism thing where you're trying to cover a lot of territory. You're just driving to see it.
Yeah.
However, when you get down to other parts of Wyoming, you want to go as fast as you can.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because it's flat. We did see a number of antelope out yesterday.
Yeah, we were just driving back from Casper. We were filming gun stories, and we saw lots of
baby antelopes.
Oh yeah, they're cute as they can be, aren't they?
Oh, baby speed goats. I'd never seen them, and we saw 20 or 30 of them on the side of the road.
Wow.
Very cool. That's exactly it. So, Michelle, what have you been shooting?
Oh, I would have to say that we're in skirmish season, so that's pretty much taking up our time right now.
She's a skirmisher.
Yep. So,
so just how much black powder do we have on hand?
I don't know.
Don't answer that.
1 pound under the regulations.
I'm not going to.
Whatever that may be.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's 1 pound less. Right. Good answer.
Right? Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, shooting the Smith carbine, and actually, just to stay proficient, I have gone out on the range with my 380 and 327, and you want to make sure all the dust is removed and cleaned and ready to go. But that's always fun.
From the gun and from you.
Right.
That's
exactly.
right. You got to knock the rust off.
It's completely different than shooting a rifle.
Yes, it is.
So that's it for me. Not a whole lot else.
And Jim, I know you haven't shot anything because all you do is buy new guns and
stare at them
and not shoot them.
No. This was my concrete week. My Italian lineage was coming through when I was pouring concrete.
Working on an outdoor range?
Well, two separate projects. The concrete slab is for some power requirements and a generator.
A backup generator. Yeah. Massive backup generator.
Yeah, and the other one, the shooting berm one, is got a local guy whose daughter had a birthday party, and I decided to pull a trade out with him. So I played his girlfriend's party, or his daughter's party, rather, and he's going to build me a shooting berm with his backhoe and bulldozer.
I like it. So you go do a music gig, and for that you get your berm for your range.
Right, everybody's happy.
That's the way to get stuff done.
Yeah, my neighbors don't have to live in fear that there'll be a stray round going their way.
Well, if you shot streak ammo, you can see where it goes.
You go, there it goes.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
wait, he's got a story.
Two segments, Mark. You're almost family now, so...
Getting into the streak and the tracer industry side of it, watching videos of actual tracers when you see them fired from aircraft and or just on square ranges.
Ricochets.
Oh my God! I mean, to really understand, the fan of where the projectiles land, it's quite surprising when you can see the bullets.
Yes, because you've seen people shoot, particularly if they hit low before the berm and it bounces, and you go, okay, but you really don't have this visual image of this bullet going out into the world.
Yes.
There, and they really ricochet in weird directions, don't they?
They do, and it's one of those things. If you don't get a chance to see it, people should understand when you shoot a round, especially a rifle round, into nature, but into a berm. If you don't hit the berm itself, if you hit low, they don't just disappear on the first thing that they hit.
Right.
They scatter all
going
over the place. So just something to be conscious of when you're out shooting. Just don't believe that the first thing that the round impacts stops it.
Right. And you'll see people do this. They'll have a 100-yard rifle range, and they say, "But I want to shoot at 25 yards," and they bring the target up. Mm-hmm. But now they're lined up to where when they shoot at the cardboard, the bullet goes through. It's hitting the ground about 50 or 75 yards out, and it's blowing right over the top of the berm.
Yep. Yeah, you really should have that target back at the back of the berm.
You go up to the target.
Advance, yes. That's right.
Seen it so many times.
Oh, but that's too much like work. I gotta walk.
Well, just make sure you don't walk up to the 75-yard line and leave somebody back at the 100-yard line.
I last year had that happen.
Oh, no.
I was at a public range. There's nobody there.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those that you just show up and shoot.
Yeah.
And there's guys over there shooting. And so I got down on this end, and I'm shooting. We're all shooting. And they stop, and they start going down to change targets. And I hustle on down. I'm changing my target. They're shooting at the 25-yard range, and I'm shooting at the 100.
Yeah.
Down there changing. And turn around and start walking back. Bang, bang, bang. And these bullets are skipping off the ground. And I'm waving my arms and all. It's like going, oh, we didn't see you down there.
Oh, my.
Okay. Now, on them, but also on me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, make the eye contact, the communication. I just assumed.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So came away with no extra holes and a good education.
Yeah.
A little tune-up there.
Little touch base with the guy down on the other end. Hey, I'm going to go down range for a bit.
Always make that contact. I'm going down. You guys okay? We're talking here. It's all good. That kind of a deal. It's when we assume. I mean, we've all seen that video of that match where there was a guy back behind all the cardboard when the guy was shooting.
Oh, yeah.
Jim and Michelle, I don't know if you guys know the video we're talking about here.
No, sir.
Mark, can you explain that one?
Yeah. It was a practical pistol match. I don't remember exactly which discipline, if it was USPSA or IDPA. And there were lots of barrier walls. So you started at the front of the range, and the competitor would move down past the walls. Well, there was somebody down there taping targets.
And the walls were not like solid walls. These are like...
I mean, they weren't... they were concealment, not cover.
Correct. There you go. Exactly.
Ooh.
So you couldn't see the person down there, but those certainly weren't stopping anything.
There was a guy down range...
Pasting targets
or something, and they started the next shooter, and he's shooting and moving. He goes sideways and moves this way sideways. He's working his way around these not bulletproof walls that he's been throwing bullets through, and gets to the last one. There's a guy standing there down by the targets where he's been shooting.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And somebody's following him with a GoPro watching the whole deal. It's just one of those. You start watching it, and when it gets to that point, it's like your breath stops.
Yeah.
The first time you see it.
Oh, my God. There's somebody down here. Now, fortunately, in that situation, you're not shooting into any blind targets or through walls.
Right.
The targets are back at the side of the base, so you're seeing the target in the bay behind it.
It should be that nobody gets
correct.
But it's just one of those moments.
Yes, it's heart stopping.
So if anybody's ever gets a little irritated at an RO about a safety deal, that you just go back and look at that kind of a deal.
Well, and that's that's an unfortunate incident, but of course everyone was fine. The safety rules are rigorous enough in the shooting sports that it is actually one of the absolute safest things you can possibly do.
It is. It's amazing. I mean, you go to the Grand American Trap Shoot where they'll shoot 5 million rounds in 2 weeks and nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Huh, where are they buying all that ammo?
No kidding.
Get Mark a lead. Well, then you have the other side of that, Mark and Ashley. You've got the idiot tactical so-called instructors that'll stand down between the targets and you shoot the 2 targets. You won't hit me. You better not hit me.
I'm convinced that some of those people are I don't know the polite way to say so dumb, but then I think the majority of them now are just filmed to be YouTube sensations.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really is, because everybody gets so up in arms about look how dumb this is and look how crazy they are. If you want to make a name for yourself for being a tactical trainer,
right,
and not have the bona fides to get legitimate followers and so forth, I think that's a quick way to get spread like wildfire. And it's one of those, all press is good press.
I'm just realizing that I'm now very disappointed in myself that I did not work in the word tactical into the new cootie cards. I'm going to beat myself up for that one for a while.
You can change a label.
You could slip in here late at night and change something out. Who's going to stop you, right? It's your place.
Right?
That was kind of some of the genius of the new museum, is it's easy to change. You can get into the cases and change the label. So
she could probably handle that right now in this commercial break.
I know, right?
Which is his not very subtle way of saying we have to take a break right now.
Yeah, you're running long is what I'm telling you.
Be right back.
Designed to be the ultimate choice in concealed carry pistols, Kimber's striker-fired Evo SP features an innovative grip system that eliminates hardware on the grip surface, a magazine release for right or left-handed shooters, all-metal construction for reduced muzzle rise, and ledged night sights for single-hand manipulations. Kimber's Evo SP is the ideal choice for shooters that demand a feature-packed, compact-sized striker-fired firearm. Find your Kimber at www.kimberamerica.com.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you know you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Batagroup. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
All right, still here. We're still at the museum because they won't let us leave now. I think they've locked the doors on us. So,
We've lost the only key.
That's okay, because you've been doing your midnight stays around here for months now.
Oh, my gosh.
You get this thing ready.
Yeah, pretty much since May, it's been 7 days a week, 12 to 15-hour days, and it's just been so crazy. Like, I every week I would look at my assistant and go, I don't think I've ever been this tired. And the next week I go, I don't think I've ever been this tired. And I know I said it last week, but it's worse this week. But, you know, it was really, the whole process has been really fascinating because it's been years. And we got married in December of last year because my dumbass, sorry, I don't know if we can swear on here.
It's the after show. You can't.
Okay, like my dumbass is like, oh, yeah. Well, it'll all be written and ready to go. We'll be in construction by December. So, like, it won't be as busy as it's been. I was wrong. Construction is really hard, and I think it was.
You never built anything before?
No. I'm a book nerd, man. I write
She's
things.
thinking, well, the contractors will show up on time, and they will complete everything right on time. No,
just as I wrote it.
Right. Well, and you know, my content wasn't done, and so we're going to take a honeymoon here, maybe next year, but. We don't know where to go. We travel so much that, like, where do you go that's, like, different?
Africa.
I want to go to Africa, but you already told you. Actually, he said that, but I'm the one that's like, all right, let's go on African safari for like our honeymoon, and you were like, no, we need to like plan that.
Well, yeah, we can't just go. I mean,
it's not a drop-in deal.
I don't know. That's kind of how Argentina worked out.
They don't take walk-ins.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's not just an observation. You're wanting more hands-on in Africa.
We want to shoot things.
Oh yeah.
Hunting, yes.
Yes, indeed.
This will not be a photo safari.
No.
Well, there will be photos.
Yes.
Very similar to what seems like my marriage has been.
That's right. Your marriage is all about the various competition shoots, is it not?
That's right. Yes. Yep. Travel to different manufacturers, factories, and like what did we do on our 10th?
Her husband was Andy as well.
Right. What did we do for our 10th? Oh well, that's when we went to everything shooting.
So I mean, with Michelle, it's like everything she knows is everything's wrapped around shooting, and you know.
But it's an awesome world, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, it's good people.
It is.
I know we say that, and it probably sounds like stupid or something, but most of the people you meet, particularly in the competitive shooting world, are just good people, nice people.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you hit on that at the very beginning of our show today, because they portray us as being these evil people, and it's such a family-oriented sport. It's ridiculous. They have no idea. If they were to come in and just watch, and then you know what would happen? We'd put a gun in their hand and they would participate. So maybe that's why they don't want to come in. But
well, you know, that's part of what the front of the Cody Firearms Museum is about. So about half of we get 200,000 people through the door, and about half of them that come through the Firearms Museum aren't familiar with guns. And so the front of the museum is dedicated to kind of firearm safety, basics, terminology, but then part of that gallery is the modern shooting sports, the Robert W. Woodruff Modern Shooting Sports Gallery. And you've got your tips for the range, your safety facts. We've got a steel challenge simulator, but then we have exhibitions of 20th and 21st century athletes, because we realized pretty early on that nobody was talking about it. So we really wanted to find a way to really highlight the athletes that are in our country that don't always get the recognition that they deserve.
And you've got some awesome people up there. I mean, there's Tom Knapp and Herb Parsons.
Yeah.
Chris Chang.
Julie
Julie Gallup.
Yeah, you got some the real deal there. So, it occurs to me something that since you can change things, you may want to throw in a mention somewhere along the line. People don't know that you can actually go to college on a shooting scholarship.
Yeah, we should put more about that. We talk a little bit about the university stuff in some of the spots, but it's not prominent, not at all.
Yeah, it's just people are always surprised when you can get, yes, you can get a scholarship.
I had a rifle range in my high school. I didn't know it was there, but it was.
That was not your world at the time.
It was not my world at the time.
So it's, but no, it's an interesting thing. I'll share with you. These guys have heard it. I was talking to a shooting coach at one of the universities one time. I said, well, you got scholarships? He said, yeah, but we only give half scholarships to shooters. So I'm thinking, well, that's kind of chintzy. What's the deal? He says, no. He says, all shooters can get an academic scholarship.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Huh.
Wow.
He says, yeah, all of them could get academic scholarships. And I'm thinking back to discipline.
Yeah.
Shooting, even on a team sport, it's an individual sport. Mm-hmm. It's you have to do it. So if you have excelled, if you have won matches, if you've done this and made the circuits and done all the stuff, you are a disciplined person. And Michelle, I'm just thinking about you and your family, your husband, your son, your family.
Right.
You guys know that.
Yeah, you have to pull your weight. I mean, you can bring the whole team down, or you can help them, elevate to the next whatever it is, the platform that they're on. And it's so true. It is an individual team sport.
Yeah, an individual team sport.
But
you're right. You don't want to be the one who sucks. That would be awful, right?
Well, and some of these, when it comes down to seconds or hits, so not only do you have to be proficient with where every round goes, but you have to do it within 20 seconds. Name the time.
20 seconds?
Well,
are you going to stop and eat a sandwich in the middle of that?
Says the three-gunner.
Well, okay, we do black powder.
Okay.
Okay, all right, I have to share with you guys. One of the first TV shows we did on shooting, I'm working with Doug Painter at the NSSF, right? Mm-hmm. And we go to Wolf Creek when it was in Atlanta, the match there, and it was a World Cup Olympic-style deal. Okay. And we're going to do TV on Olympic-style shooting. Yes, Mark just went to sleep. Narcolepsy just kicked in. Exactly. So we're watching this one guy. He's shooting air gun, right?
Yeah.
And he gets up and he puts the gun up, and you wait, and he's on target, and he stops. He puts the gun back down, doesn't take a shot. And he sits down, and he picks up a newspaper.
Oh, stop.
I'm not kidding you. To get his heart rate back down, I guess. Because they've got 20 minutes to fire 10 shots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm not making this up, am I?
Oh, no, not at all.
Tom, you just found your purpose for the newspaper.
Touche. And I'm thinking, we have to make TV out of this. Oh, my God. Which is why the Sportsman's Team Challenge was invented, to be a TV shooting event.
I loved that match.
Wasn't that fun?
That was so much fun.
But I think that's what most people like. I think that's where all the three-gun and all this very fast shooting comes into place, because that's what everybody wants now. This slow shooting, my grandpa did it.
Yeah,
but you know what? They have bowling on TV, so
but they got flashy shirts.
there it is. You need flashier shirts.
And their shoes. Oh my goodness.
God. Now, wait a minute. If you want to start talking shoes, Ashley's going to take over the show right now, because she's a shoe girl.
Uh-oh. I am a shoe girl.
You are, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
And boots.
Oh, cowboy boots. Yep, with guns on them. Yep. And I've been known to go to the indoor range in my high heels. You got to practice how you live your life, right?
We got people waving at us on the. Oh wait! He's motioning back here. He's giving Ashley big thumbs up. There you go.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks, guys. So people are walking by as we're doing this thing and then giving us. This is cool.
I do have to ask. I hope you have some kind of anti-slip tape on the bottom of your high heels.
Well, that's no fun.
Wait, what you don't know about Ashley is that she was a competitive ballroom dancer.
Oh.
So she could do all that running and fast moving and stuff in heels.
Now that would be two sports to combine.
She's actually more nimble and adept in high heels than in flat shoes.
I trip all the time in flats. It's a real statement.
That's funny.
But people always ask me, they're like, "Oh, are you gonna?" Because I'll go out to the range to watch Mark shoot and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, are you gonna get into competitive shooting?" And I'm like, one, I wouldn't disrespect the sport by bringing my ability into it, but I honestly, I'd go back to ballroom, But I actually really do enjoy watching it. Although Mark doesn't shoot so well when I'm there.
Whatever,
they call me Yoko. Yeah, they call me Yoko. I had to have other people tell me that he was good when we first started dating.
Yeah. Oh, what? Didn't you used to be Mark Hanish?
I used to be Mark Hanish.
Well, it was really funny. At one of the matches, I went to go get everyone in and out, and I came back, and and you came, and you're like, "I won the stage," and I was like, "I'm not even happy for you," because I was like, "I want to see it."
So if you would just stay away, he would shoot better.
Exactly.
Oh,
if he took longer time for his shots.
Yes, there it is.
If you just slow down and make those shots count,
Always in a hurry.
And actually, I have to give credit. Mark was really instrumental in bringing shooting to a wider audience with the Three Gun Nation.
That's awesome.
And the TV show, just so many people discovered that type of shooting that brought them into shooting with that.
That show, Pete and Chad, who came up with the concept, and FN really got behind it. Ken Pfau and Tommy Thacker, that group is responsible for it and bringing it out and getting it on NBC Sports. And
amazing.
Creating a platform that people wanted to see, and that sport grew fast, and we had people show up that were adrenaline junkies. Hey, I did motocross, I did this, I did that, I saw this on TV, and I wanted to do that.
This is the X Games of shooting.
Yeah, they never had shot a gun before. They may have shot something, but they weren't shooters.
It just looked fast and cool.
Yeah, they're like, that looks amazing, I want to do that. And we had people that would show up and start shooting on the circuit just because they saw it on TV.
Cool. Now, how many seasons was it on NBC Sports?
It aired for 6 seasons. It was on NBC for a couple years, and then it transitioned.
Well, NBC kicked us all off. We were on NBC Sports as well. They kicked us all off after one mass shooting. They said, no more ARs, just not going to be on. Oh, and I think they said, it's like, basically they just went totally anti-gun on the deal. So, and when they did it, it was like in the tail end of the season. You couldn't even finish the season.
Yeah, it was.
We had shows ready to air. They go, nope, it's done. As of this day, no more. It was ugly.
Yep.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Senator, I was giving a tour to Senator Mike Enzi the other day, and he said, if something is significant enough to get a reaction, then it's also significant enough to get an overreaction. That was a really interesting statement.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of, yesterday, we're walking around out here before it all opened to everybody, and I turned around and I did a double take, and there's Senator Alan Simpson walking by. And I rushed over, Senator, because Pat and I are actually reading one of his books right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's so funny, though, about Cody, though, is I'm like, oh, Al.
That's just Al. But really, if you get a chance, talk about the guy who tried to drain the swamp early on, and he was the outsider and never fit in. The media didn't like him, but they had to quote him because he was so clever with the things he said. He's very funny.
Yeah.
His books are worth looking at.
Well, Mark, why don't you tell about your first meeting with Al Simpson? Al was the former chair of our board of trustees. He's on the board. That's why he's here, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but Mark had a rather... I've known Al since I came to the museum, and he's a wonderful person, just wonderful person. And Mark finally got to meet him at our annual gala.
Yes, at the Patrons Ball here, which is a phenomenal event, a black tie gala. And we had just gotten engaged, so we thanked the museum for throwing a 1,000-person black tie gala to celebrate our engagement.
That day.
That day.
Very nice.
Which was quite lovely because you have folks here, like we got pictures with Dick Cheney, for our engagement photos, and got to meet Senator Simpson, and he's a very tall gentleman, and he leans down, and there's a band playing, and I'm shaking his hand, and he pulls me in close and lets me know in no uncertain terms if any ill shall come to Ashley, that he would ensure that every bone in my body were broken, and that he still had that power.
That sounds just like him.
He's so funny.
And the brilliant part about Al is it's now been several years, and I talked to him the other day, and I was talking to his wife, Ann, and he goes, I mean, quick. He turns, he goes, I said, yeah, I've been treating her good. He goes, yeah, because the first thing I told this guy, she was explaining the story. He goes, that I would break every bone in his body if anything ever happened. I was like,
well, and I don't know if you caught this, the Buffalo Bill, the one that used to be the ghosty Buffalo Bill that talks at the front of the Buffalo Bill Museum, that's Pete Simpson.
No.
Yeah, it's Pete.
Oh, that's cool.
Al's brother.
Wow. Okay. It's a cool place. I would encourage, Jim, Michelle, you got to come out here.
On our way.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
I'll be in D.C.
Ashley, Mark, thank you so much for hosting us here, letting us do this, and joining us for all this craziness.
Thank you for coming out and helping to spread the word about our opening.
It's wonderful, and Jim and Michelle, it's always a pleasure. This was a fun one, man.
Yeah, I got one question for Ashley before she goes, either on air or off here. You said you get 200,000 people a year through the door?
Yeah.
Not at once.
That door must be huge, yeah.
Boom, boom.
He knew where you were going with that. Yeah.
Don't anticipate. That's the one thing that we have learned in doing all this TV with guys like him, these guys who are shooters, and I'm serious about this.
Yeah.
You know, because you've done enough of it now, when we're telling, and I don't care if it's Doug or Jerry or Max or whoever it is, okay, hold this gun and do this, and it's like they go, well, as you can see here, and then the gun comes up and comes back down. You go, well, no, the camera's got to follow it. All you guys do everything fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you must wake up in the morning and start doing things fast. Just everything you do.
That doesn't bode well for our marriage.
We're just talking about getting up in the morning, guys.
You're not making it better.
It's really going downhill now.
You sure we didn't get that whiskey in here?
Do you guys remember in July of 2019 when we did our last after show? That was great.
Yeah, actually, we need jobs. We'll be headed your way.
Nonprofits don't pay well.
And neither does radio. Trust me. Well, Jim, you have nothing else to ask about this, I hope.
No, yeah. For everybody's benefit, I'm shutting up.
Yeah, much appreciated. All right, we'll see you guys later. Ashley, Mark, thank you so much. We'll see you down the road. And wonderful job, seriously.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Everybody else, go out, do some shooting. Invite somebody to go to the range with you. They will probably say yes. And you would have done something great for the Second Amendment.
Well, that wraps up another Gun Talk After Show. But if you want even more gun-related stuff, don't forget to check out Gundealio. It's the app for Apple and Android phones that connects you to all the Gun Talk shows, plus even more. And we'll catch you next time for the Gun Talk After Show.